Hi, I'm Mina Edmondson, and I'm the director of Martin Library. I'm going to tell you a story today about magic. Will you travel with me? Let's leave downtown York and head up George Street and cross over the railroad track and cross over to Cador's Creek and make a left and go up the hill. At the top of that hill there's a park, and in that park there's a beautiful bandstand. At the bottom of the park there's an elementary school, and inside that elementary school there's a library. And inside that library there are books. And inside each one of those books is a little touch of magic meant for one special person. That special person became a hero. Let's call him Josh. Josh was that kid. You may have been that kid growing up, or your brother, or your cousin. That kid, no matter what they did, they couldn't do anything right. That kid whose teacher would move their desk into the hallway because they were disturbing the other kids. That kid who often had to stand against the fence during recess as discipline for misbehaving all morning. That kid whose name should have been engraved on the bench outside the principal's office because he could have been found there every day. That kid who talked incessantly. He could not sit down and shut his mouth at the same time. That kid who had all these wonderful ideas going in his head, but he couldn't focus on one thing. That kid whose hair was always disheveled and his clothes were rumpled. You know what I mean, that kid. Well, that kid, Josh, came into my library every week with his classmates, and we would sit down and we would try to tell the story. And Josh had trouble sitting down, so I would have him help me turn the pages of the book, or perhaps he would be the one playing with the puppet, anything to keep him engaged. Now, in the springtime, I decided to tell a story about Mardi Gras and a little boy who wanted to be a musician and play in the first line parade. Now, this is kind of a Goldilocks tale. So this little boy, he's decided, I'm going to be in the first line parade this year, but I have to find an instrument to play. So he's walking around and he hears tuba fats. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, I'm going to play the tuba. So he went up to Tuba Fats and he said, can I play your tuba? And he said, sure, you can give it a try. And he took the tuba off and he put it on the little boy. The tuba was too big. So the little boy kept walking. And in a minute, he heard Wycliffe. And Wycliffe was in the backyard playing his trombone. The little boy thought that was fantastic. Wycliffe, can I play your trombone? Sure, you can give it a try. And the little boy was like, boo, 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 boo. Oh, the trombone was too long and his arms were too short. So he gave it back and he keeps walking. And then he heard Baby Dodds in the courtyard. Ah, Baby Dodds was playing a snare drum. Hey, can I play the drum? I've always wanted to play a drum. And Baby Dodds said, sure, take this home and practice. So he takes it home and he sets it up. And his mom came downstairs and she said, oh no, that's too loud. You have to take that back. So the little boy is getting kind of dejected right now. And he's walking around. I wonder what instrument I can play. I want to play an instrument. And his uncle was sitting on the front porch. Now his uncle's the grand marshal in the parade. And his uncle said, come here, you're looking pretty sad. What's the matter with you? And he said, well, I want to be in the first line, but I don't have an instrument to play. And his uncle thought for a minute and he said, I may have just the right instrument for you. And he reaches in his back pocket and he pulls out a harmonica. And the little boy, it was just right. Now, you will not believe what happens next. Josh jumps up and he pulls a harmonica out of his pocket and he starts to play. It was horrendous. It was glorious. It was the most wonderful thing that had happened that year. It was pure magic. Josh became a hero for the first time probably in his life. Josh, all the kids were excited and clapped for Josh. We decided we were going to have a parade around the library. Led the parade, and each of the kids played their own instrument, and Josh played his real harmonica. The look on his face was absolutely wonderful. He was so excited, and he became my best friend after that. Now, Josh grew up, and I would see him doing summer reading programs where he would be doing STEM activities that had to do with the books we were reading. Or as a teenager, he'd be down there with the other students playing games or talking about ideas. Last time I saw him, he was in the library with his baby, and he was on the computers, and he was looking for a job. And he came up to me and he said, "Miss Edmondson, I probably won't be in the library for a while. I just got a job and I'll be starting next week." Whoa. So proud of him. Now, did playing harmonica in the library change Josh's life? Perhaps not, but he learned that libraries are for young children where they can find their dreams and become heroes, or students who can learn about life and learn about the future and learn to manipulate things, or teens who can get along with their friends and learn new ideas, and adults and families who can come into the library. Now, I've seen hundreds of kids in the library with that same smile that Josh had that day when they found that just right book for them. They found their magic.